Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Leslie Allen with the Center for Holistic Healing, and I am here with an all-star student who we are celebrating today, his graduation from the program, and we wanted to share his story with you all. Hopefully to inspire others that may want similar results to his. So this is Bob Akers, and Bob, why don't you tell us tell us what your challenges were, what health challenges you were having prior to coming into the program, and of course, only sharing what you're comfortable with.
So I'm 43, and really starting all the way back to high school, I started experiencing anxiety extensively, depression. I got to the point where I was having pain up my arms, down my legs. I mean, this started as early as college. I went to physical therapist. I went to neurologist. I doctor hopped a lot. And I continued to over the last 20 years. And that I got no answers really. I got everything looks good, your blood work looks good, you don't have MS, you don't have this, you don't have that. And I got to a real point where I was really frustrated. I just wanted somebody to say, yes, you do this, you've got this, you've got that, you don't have this. And that's sickening that you would want some doctor to tell you that you have a disease. But I was just getting to the point where I was so sad that nobody could figure me out. And my mom has been my rock, and she always was trying the next thing. Hey, you should try this, you should try this. So it's been my whole life. And so what the culmination of it was, now I've got two children, and one's 14 and one's 10. And the oldest is going into high school. And I really, about 4 months ago, had an absolute breakdown. And so I went to my general practitioner, who I've been with for 20 years. And she's been with me through a lot. I've had a neck surgery, and she's seen the progression. And so she wanted to put me on gabapentin, which is a nerve pain medicine. And I got the prescription filled, and I went home, and my father's on that medicine as well. And so I knew the side effects, and I was at rock bottom, absolutely rock bottom. I was crying with my wife. I said, I don't think I can work anymore. I don't know how I'm going to support the family. And she had been on me, like a good wife is, or does. She had been asking me to, hey, just talk to my friend, my high school friend, that she had gone through some similar things in her life, and she got diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. And then she went out and researched for 3 or 4 years to really find out what that is in more of a natural, holistic approach. And I said, no, I'm not. Well, I told her like 3 or 4 times, no, I'm not doing that. I don't believe in that. So then at this point, I was at my low spot in my life, and I had nowhere else to go. I either took the gabapentin and dealt with the side effects, or I called Leslie. And so I at least committed to my wife that I would pick up the phone and call her. Then I talked to her on the phone, and she told me, hey, if you're not serious, don't sign up and don't commit, because or if you can't commit, don't give me money, don't do all this, because it's a serious investment. I mean, it's, so I signed up. Well, I got off the phone first, and I told my wife, I said, what do you think we should do? And she said, give her the money right now and let's go. And so I called her back within 10 minutes, and I said, let's go. So that's how I got into the program. I've been looking for answers my entire life, and here I started 4 months ago.
So when did you start to notice results in the program? Which, by the way, I mean, he is he he not only committed to the program, but once he committed to the program, he followed the program step by step. But at what stage in the program did you really start to feel like, okay, this is working?
Yeah. So again, I told you from the beginning that I wasn't. I really didn't believe in what you did, quite
Hmm.
frankly.
Hmm.
And but I'm pretty disciplined with the food, so the elimination diet and the supplements and all that. I when I follow something, I followed it to a T.
Hmm.
And so I went all in. I went back to my doctor at day 23 once we had gotten the results of some of the tests that you ran, well,
Hmm.
all the tests that you ran, and you told me your assessment that you had already started treating me for what you thought. You predicted what I had, and you were dead
Hmm.
on based
Hmm.
on the test results. So I went back to my doctor day 30, and I was starting to feel different, a little bit better, but not better. Like I was still nervous, I still had pain, but better. So I go
Hmm.
back to my doctor, and I walk in, and she said, "You look better." And I said, "Well, I feel better." And she said, "So the gabapentin's working?" And I said, "No." I said, "It's not." I said, I decided not to take it. And I said, "I got it filled," but then I went home and I looked at the side effects, and my father's on it. And I said, "I just can't do that. I've got 2 kids." And I said, "There's got to be another way." So here's where I told a little fib. I
She might watch this.
yeah, so you might. But so I told her, I said, I didn't want to offend her as being a
Right.
medical doctor and her ego.
Hmm.
So I said, my wife knew this nutritionist, and she said, just talk to her. So
Hmm.
I called you a nutritionist, and I went through, and she said, well, I said, well, why do you ask? She said, well, tell me everything she's told you to do. So I said, I told her everything you told me to do. Do my leg exercises to get testosterone, work out, walk, weight lift, eat the elimination diet, do the supplements. And I go, well, why do you ask? And she said, well, she said, the reason is because I was going to have another conversation with you when you came back in, which was about your blood pressure. It was on the high side, and I was going to advise you to get on high blood pressure medicine. But your numbers, I've never seen a human being's numbers drop like yours, weight, everything. So she said, after 30 days, she said 30 days ago, you weighed 15 more pounds than you did, 15, 20 more pounds. She said, your, your blood pressure has fallen so drastically. You're in the perfect range now.
Hmm.
And then your heart rate, you were a stress ball and your heart rate was through the roof. But now she said, all those numbers are perfect. And I said, well, what do you think I should do, doctor? And she said, I would listen to exactly what she tells you. So that felt good. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't feel great. I felt better. And I
Hmm.
felt like I could at least function in life a little better and solve some of the problems that came at me throughout the day and not feel like a victim, like I
Right.
couldn't handle any of it through
Right.
the anxiety, the pain. I would get grumpy with people, and that's not who I am.
Hmm.
But the
You
pain,
didn't feel good.
I didn't feel good at all.
Right. So, what have been your biggest victories and your biggest changes with your health
Mm,
since you've now completed
mm.
all 16 weeks?
So now again, I have followed it to a T. I have not cheated one time. So
Hmm.
I think that's a key, because all my friends, they go, Bob, I can't, I can't stay that disciplined to do it. And I said, well, then if you've got these things, then you don't, it's not probably going to give you the benefit. But I said,
Right.
I followed it to a T, but I'm kind of OCD. And when I
Mhm.
go at something, I do it. So I think the results are because of that. But to answer your question, um, my biggest thing is the pain has subsided. Uh, I don't I really don't have it. The pain a lot is one thing, but the biggest thing is just my cognitive ability to
Mhm.
not have to be a victim to problems that come my way. That now at work, and I told you this earlier before we got on this, that I've probably had the one of the most stressful times in my life over the last month. Work, new boss. My father's been in the hospital for 5 days, and that is something that would have normally derailed me. I
Mhm.
would have had to be in some kind of help. Um, but now I can compartmentalize things. I can compartmentalize, like, I can handle that. I need to do this. I can do that for this. I can solve this problem. But then the other stuff is like, I'm not anxious about what's going to happen next. It's about, okay, I can enjoy life. And one of the best things, I guess, and it almost makes me cry a little bit,
Mhm.
is that we went on a vacation, a family vacation, and my wife told me, she said, I've never seen you as present in your life that I have now. And, I look back on all that time that we've been married and bringing up the kids, and it's not like I've been a bad father.
Mhm.
I feel like I've been a good father, but there were so many areas that could have been much more sweeter if I
Mhm.
would have been more engaged and if I was able to live in the moment. And for that week, it was like I did. I lived in the moment for the first time in a long time. And
Mhm.
that's because I don't have pain. I don't have the anxiety of, like, can I, can I do work? I don't have to use my brain power to freak out over stuff so, uh, I told you, Leslie, earlier that I probably don't see myself going back to, because there's a part of this program that where you can add food back in, some of the dairy and the cheeses and the things like that. But I've been trying my whole life to find something that relaxes me through alcohol, through stuff. And I haven't had alcohol in 4 months, and I never thought that would happen.
Mhm.
And but I finally, I'm like, why would I go back when I know that there's pain on the other side of that?
Right. And I
So
think, to your point, when you're telling people about your journey and they say, "Oh, there's no way I could be that strict with something," but they either haven't felt like you felt before the program and experienced that level of pain, anxiety, and then fear of your future.
mhm,
Um, and then to feel better, it makes
mhm.
it so much easier. And then once you just change patterns and habits, it's not like it's
No, I don't even do it. One thing feeds another. So exercise feeds me wanting to eat well. But then after the first 30 days, I will tell you, though, no one wanted to be around me. The first 30 days, I wanted to rip
yeah,
people's face off.
right.
It's the way it was. But after that 30 days, it became a habit. And then I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to build on it. I was feeling a
Right.
little bit better, but the exercise made me want to eat better. The eating better made me want to exercise. And
Mm-hmm.
you almost become addicted. You see these people that go to the gym, and you're like, why? They're almost addicted to going to the gym.
Right.
Oh, I'm that person now. And
Yeah.
if I'm going to be addicted to something, why not something that's good for me?
Right.
Um, so I am very happy. Like I told you, I would not have ever came to see you or even
Right.
talk to you if I hadn't got pushed by my better half.
Right.
And it's probably, hopefully, I'm 43. Hopefully, live another 40 or 50 years, and hopefully, that thing she said about me being engaged in my life,
Mm-hmm.
I can be engaged in my life for the rest of my life instead
Right.
of for the last 30 years of. So it hasn't been bad. It
Right.
hasn't been great, and I've had a lot of dark moments. But how much sweeter could it have been if I would have found you at 22? Right?
Exactly.
Instead of running around from doctor to doctor. getting no answers. So
Well, just divine intervention put you exactly where you were supposed to be, right at that moment when you were ready to lean in.
mhm. Yep.
So it could have been, had we have met it when you were 22, you
I wouldn't
hadn't felt that level of pain yet.
I wouldn't have listened. No, I wouldn't have.
Right,
But because of all the pain leads us. I was willing to do what it took and takes
right.
to to make it happen. So the
Well,
bottom line is, you can coach me, and the thing was, you as a coach and helping and knowing that I didn't have to worry about that, like you would go through all these things with me, these chemistry things, and help me understand what they were,
right,
and I would listen. And I would take the high points of like, hey, Bob, you're low on testosterone. You've got a fungus in your gut. But I didn't know what, and I'm glad. Like I'm like, can you help me? That's all I wanted to know. And you were explaining the chemicals, and you get really passionate about
I
that.
do,
And
I
like
do.
start talking about all these chemicals, and I'm like, I really don't care as much about that as long as they work. And so just to have someone as a coach that I can trust, that you're going to do all the analysis and
Hmm.
come up with a plan to give me, and then my job is to run with that plan. And as long as I do what you say, then I'll get better. So the motivation and the coaching of you working with me, but also me reciprocating, because it's not going to hurt Leslie, Dr. Leslie, it's not going to hurt you if I
Mm-mm.
don't do what,
Right,
what I've got. I've already paid you.
right,
And the thing is, it's only going to hurt me. So
right.
I would not advise anyone uh, and I've told this story 1,000 times to people that have experienced different things and have
Mhm.
recommended you, but I also tell them that there's no reason to do this if you are not to a point in your life where you'll commit. And she'll
You
tell you
have to
that.
commit.
Not give me money, and let's
Mhm.
not go down this path if you're not
Yeah,
serious and you're not ready to lean in and be coached.
exactly. It's just as much of an energy suck for me. It is. I lean in and commit 100%, and I want a client that reciprocates that. So because then it's, I mean, then you get into your own head, even though I try not to. Is this a reflection of me? It's not. It is, you have to do the work. So anyhow, thank you so much, Bob, for sharing your story. And it's been a true pleasure working with you. And I absolutely love all the results that you've gained from this program, and watching you transform your health from where you were and to where you are now, and getting awesome little pictures of you and your wife on the beach, and texts that say, I mean, it just makes my day. Like, my life is so much better now, and that's exactly why I do what I do. So for all of you out there, if you are looking for results like Bob's, and you're ready to lean into the program, then book a breakthrough call with me. These are calls where basically I will see if you're a right fit for the program. Not everyone is, but regardless, I'll make sure that you walk away with action steps of things that you can do to help jumpstart your health journey, or get you into contact with someone else, another provider that may be a better fit for you. All right. Thanks, Bob, and
Bye.
we will sign off.